Welcome everyone, Simon here from the Whales of Wall Street. We have an XDC update video here, a really cool update actually for XDC's 2.0 transition. This is absolutely brilliant to see the update here from the XDC team. Been working on this for quite some time now, I think at least a year, but we're finally seeing the sort of fruits, if you like, of the work that have been done. And of course it's not over yet, but this is a great transition into a more secure and more developed XDC network, including of course increases in things like security and validation, which is very, very important and crucial of course for the markets that these guys are trying to adhere to, particularly in trade finance and particularly private finance as well. And of course that trickles down to domestic or public finance as well. So let's have a quick listen we've got Dr. Fisher Yu here. Let's see what he had to say about the 2.0 update thus far.
So what is XDC 2.0? XDC 2.0 is the next generation consensus engine for the XDC network. This upgrade will make XDC one of the most secure and efficient blockchain in the world. This upgrade will bring in critical features, including state-of-the-art Byzantine fault-tolerant security, a super fast transaction and block finalization time of only 3 blocks, and a forensic monitoring system that can detect and ID attackers in real time. Our team has been building and testing the new consensus engine for 12 months already. We are happy to share with you now that the engine has been built and has been fully tested on the DevNet. We are very excited and proud of this effort because this engine is originally and purposefully built just for XDC. When we design and develop the consensus engine, we always keep the community and the users in our mind. We put tremendous effort in making sure that all the existing applications and infrastructures built on top of the consensus engine will not be affected by the upgrade, which means no matter you run an Explorer, you run smart contract or exchange or wallet, they will continue to operate as normal after the upgrade, as nothing has happened. To make sure we can deliver our promise to the community, we would like to sincerely invite you to join the DevNet and test it out, evaluate it by bringing your ideas, your applications, and your infrastructure. After the DevNet evaluation is finished, we will then launch XDC 2.0 to Appleton testnet. So please join us, join the DevNet, evaluate it. Together, we will make the future of XDC.
Well, that is awesome to have listened to that little narrative. As I said, this is still in development stages, albeit that they have tested it internally for the last 12 months. I'm particularly excited to see what kind of companies or people out there are willing to apply their methods, their ideas into the system to really define what XDC will be moving forward as a token, but also the actual network itself as well. This is a really exciting time. And you know, as the aspect of what he just mentioned about all the different sort of faculties of what the improvements will be in this upgrade, it's quite significant really. And as I said, it's really, really very much in line with what they're trying to achieve with their target audiences. This Byzantine fault tolerance is something that's within blockchain from the very beginning of many years ago. But this aspect is about, it's kind of like around really the 2/3 of the consensus model needs to be in operation for it to be successful in the node aspects and push that forwards to become something that is verified and processed. So this is going to be really cool to advance this. And I don't know whether that will then mean that other networks or other chains will need to perhaps enhance theirs as well, as XDC defines a new platform and a new kind of benchmark, if you like, for this kind of aspect. But particularly for the forensic monitoring systems here is quite interesting too. This is where we talk about the aspect of verification and transparency, which is very important throughout finance, of course, as we move forwards, and something that will tick a big box in institutional levels for a major requirement that they need. And particularly as we're talking about things like the ISO compliance and all the regulation talk that's coming out in recent times more and more, or indeed has been for the last few years. But obviously, what's happened with FTX recently has really pushed this narrative further. So for me, this is absolutely brilliant. In fact, it probably even mentions here just a brief bit about BFT. Even 1/3 of the network masternodes malfunction, XDC 2.0 ensures the security of the blockchain and the infrastructure. So this means that irrespective of that 2/3 I was mentioning, it can still operate and move quickly and progress what it needs to do, which is quite phenomenal, really. And I'm sure a lot of other chains and technologies out there will take note of this. In terms of the price point, guys, now we've finished that kind of topic, the price hasn't moved significantly since the last video. I'm pleased to say, personally, our buy orders came in at the limit orders that we drew in previously, around these lower areas of 2 cents where we thought it would come down. I do anticipate the market to be dragged down a bit further overall anyway. But for XDC, in terms of an initial investment, this might be your first time you're hearing about XDC or moving forward. And if it is, go and watch our intro video, which I'll leave at the end of this one. But for those that are perhaps already within XDC and missed out the boat in the early stages of its launch and its kind of path that it's taken over the last couple of years, you'll be probably very happy to be still seeing these kind of price points, considering the 2.0 is on the verge of release fully. I'm sure that's going to take some more time, of course, but as we develop blockchain and we advance this to the next phases and we develop a new financial system over the next 2-3 years, this is where I see the light at the end of the tunnel and seeing the gigantic opportunity at these early stages. If you remember videos way back, we talked about like what kind of fish status you are, and we're always trying to get up to those top levels of the whales and the sharks, etc. But for sure that path is still achievable in my opinion right now because of the status of the price point of XDC. Now, for me, it was great to achieve that lower 2 cent mark. I do have buy orders slightly lower than that, just under the 1 cent mark, all the way back down here as well. Well, I'm just going to play that as it comes. I'm more interested in this accumulation area right now. We've seen 3 dip downs actually in towards this lower 2 cent area. So it is testing this ground now, guys, and very much matching back to down to what we saw on the 30th of June when we saw most of the market hitting the most bottom part of its cycle this year thus far, taking it to this lower fib retracement level, hence why we had the buy orders on there. So I'm not saying that we'll hit this area and jump back up. We could potentially test these areas again at some point. So it is potentially worth, it's not financial advice, but it's just opinion based on what I'm doing. And I am putting those buy orders in at the previous positions of just under the 1 cent mark. If it gets down to that area and we start fluctuating, I might just see if I get some lower positions than that as well. But for now, I'm still very much hugely pleased to be grabbing XDC at these current price points. Let us know in the comments below what you've been doing, but certainly this news this week has been fantastic over the last few days of that release and information around the 2.0 mechanism upgrade. You saw here a few days back, the beginning of this month, November the 9th, the RSIs were hitting very lows of 21 and 34, which is quite significant really. But since then, we've progressed slightly further upwards and have a bit more stability. But right now, the RSI 14-day 34, 28-day at 38. This is a really good bite point for me in terms of accumulating on a manual basis, I'll admit right now, because it's just purely kind of sustaining itself at the moment around this area, which gives me the opportunity to do some DCAing every couple of days to see, okay, we're still around this reflective price, still happy to put in some capital here, but yeah, I do always look for those lower positions as well. You see on the right hand side the 1 week percentage aspect here, -5%, is not too bad at all. But there's still loads of room for improvement on the year to date and the year sections here. We see this a lot on a lot of the crypto assets, right? But this gives you a bit of a definition here of the movement that we have in the upward direction, and that's just to break even at 0. We've then got the plus momentum on that as well, the positive momentum percentage wise also. So there's a good opportunity to get some massive gains off what we're doing right now, and even irrespective of it coming down lower, these are still significant position price points compared to where XDC will be in the future, in my opinion. So I'm really excited to see the development of XDC. The narratives are continuing to build for XDC as well and its network. Let us know what you think in the comments below, because I'm absolutely thrilled by this news of the development of 2.0. I'm really excited to see how many developers come on board and really enhance this further so we can get to those alpha stages and the full launch, because if that happens, and when that happens, I do anticipate some really good positive price movements. But more importantly, in the background technologically aspect, I'm more excited about how this is going to transition the world for trade finance, for private finance, and XDC as a network and what it's capable of doing. So guys, I'm going to wrap that up there, keeping it short and sweet. This is an absolutely phenomenal upgrade and update from XDC. Thanks for watching. We will catch up with you very soon on the next XDC update. Thanks for watching. Take care and bye-bye.